Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Joe, your cooking guide. Today I've got a really cool recipe for you. Recently we spent a little time in South Carolina and my friend Jim and I were able to get out on the water and hook into some amazing redfish. So today's recipe, we're going to do a pan-seared redfish with a tomato shrimp cream sauce and just served over some simple green beans. Hey, if you enjoy this video, please be sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell for upcoming videos. So hang out with me for a bit and let's have some fun. We're going to start to assemble the coating for our fish. So in the bowl I have all-purpose flour, and to that we are going to add some herbs and spices. So I have some cayenne pepper, some paprika, some garlic powder, some dried oregano, and some fresh thyme that I just stripped and chopped. And all of the amounts will be in the recipe in the description of the video. So we're just going to take that and add that to the flour. And then we also want to add in about a teaspoon or so of some fresh ground black pepper. Right, so just put a few twists of that into the flour and then the herbs and spices. And then what we'll do is we'll just mix that all together until it's well combined and just move it off to the side and start breading our fish. We're going to start coating our redfish. So we have our flour and spice mix. Then we're just going to take each one of the fillets and dredge them into that flour. And we want to be sure that we coat all sides of the fillet. And then just pat it off a little bit to get some of that flour off. And we'll complete that with the remainder of the fillets. So now that we have all of the fillets coated, we have them seasoned with the spices, we're going to start to move over to the stove. So I have a medium-sized saute pan that I heated up. We're going to add in a little bit of olive oil, just enough to coat the bottom. And then what we'll do is we'll take our redfish fillets that we coated in the flour and we'll start to saute them. And very important when you add in the redfish fillets to the hot oil to kind of lay them in away from you to ensure that that oil doesn't splatter up on you. So just a quick little safety tip. So we're going to continue sauteing the redfish, and as I mentioned earlier, the flour is going to really help protect the fish, provided with a little bit of color when we're sauteing, but then also retain a lot of the moisture, which is exactly what we want. So we'll just season those up with a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, and get a little color on the front side. And then what we'll do is just flip them over, and we want to do the same on the other side. And we didn't add any salt or pepper into the flour, so we're going to, again, season the top here with a little bit of salt and pepper as well. And what I did with these green beans is I just blanched them for 2 minutes in some salted water, and that'll accompany our fish. So add a little bit of olive oil, some salt and pepper, and ensure that they're seasoned. And then what we're going to do is we will just take the pan, put it in a 350 oven for about 5 to 7 minutes with about a 1/4 cup of white wine. And then using a wooden spoon, just want to scrape the bottom of that pan and pick up all that fond, because that's going to be all the flavor in our sauce. We're going to let that wine reduce down for about 2 to 3 minutes, and we really just want to concentrate the flavors of that Chardonnay that I had added. And after about 2-3 minutes, we'll add in some vegetable stock. And that's about 1/2 cup of vegetable stock. You could use chicken stock as well, but I had vegetable stock on hand. And then we want to add in the shrimp. And this is a 50 to 70 count shrimp, which means that there is 50 to 70 pieces per pound. So you want to let the vegetable stock reduce down by about 50%, and that'll take about 3 to 4 minutes. And just move those shrimp around and they'll start to absorb some of the flavors that we have already incorporated into the sauce. After about 3 minutes, the sauce looks absolutely amazing. The vegetable stock and the wine have reduced down perfectly. And now we want to add in about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And you can just take your spoon and just swirl that into the sauce and ensure that it's combined very well. And after we do that, The next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to add in about 1/4 cup of heavy cream. And the heavy cream will give the sauce some body and consistency and just add some pretty amazing flavor as well. So we're going to let that sauce go down for about 3 minutes. So I've allowed the sauce to reduce down and it looks absolutely amazing. It looks nice and silky and the shrimp are cooked through. And we want to add now a couple of shots of Worcestershire sauce, and that's about 1 teaspoon. And this is optional, but I add a couple teaspoons of hot sauce. And then we just want to also just complete it with a little bit of fresh chopped parsley. Just swirl that in and combine everything. And then we'll take the sauce, move it off to the side, and start moving into the final presentation. Alright, now we're going to start putting together the final presentation for our dish. So we're going to just lay down some of those blanched green beans that we seasoned simply with some olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then we're going to take about 2 of our redfish fillets and just kind of put those right on top of the green beans. And you can present this or arrange this any way that you choose. This is just how I'm selecting to do it for today's recipe. And then after we have those fillets on the plate, we're going to take some of that tomato shrimp cream sauce and just start to kind of spoon that over those redfish fillets. And this sauce is just reduced perfectly. Those shrimp are still nice and tender. And look at the way that sauce just drips off those fillets. It's just absolutely amazing. So we're just going to add a little bit more of that sauce. And then what we're going to want to do as a final touch is we're just going to sprinkle a little bit of chopped parsley over the top, and we're done. So there we have our pan-seared redfish with the tomato shrimp cream sauce served over some very simple roasted green beans.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed tonight's video. If you did, please be sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell for my upcoming videos. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.